Okay, I think we are real back again. How is everyone doing? If I'm correct, this should be the first stream for the day after the how you know. Am I correct? This is the first stream of the day, right? Hi, excited to have you here as well. Yes, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Oh, welcome, welcome, Elise. It's nice to have you on the stream for the first time. Oh, okay, yeah. So great. Oh, kudos. You are killing those points. Keep it going. Okay. So if you're joining us for the first time and this is your first stream, like Elise, my name is Vincent and I'm a content streamer here at Major League Hacking. And today we'll be learning something new. Maybe not so new, more like continue from what we've been learning so far. So welcome Elise and welcome everyone joining us for the first time. Yeah, so the more you check in and the more you complete challenges, the more points you get. Yeah, just keep it going. Okay, so what are we doing today? What are we learning today? We're going to be learning something new. AI has been the buzzword over the past few years, right? Yeah, few years now. I mean, it has been there for some time, but it has been making wave over the few years. No, 2022, 22, 20, even 21, 22, 23, 23 started becoming a thing. I see you all are sharing the points on the comment section. Awesome. And don't forget to check in, please. Dropping the link again on the comment section. And you also have it on the stream, on the screen. So go ahead and check in. The more you check in, the more points you have, and the more challenges you complete, the more points you have as well. So this gives you chances of winning more swag and badges. Okay, so let's get down to business of what we have today, which is building your first app with AI responsibly. So this is our goal for this stream. So at the end of the session, you'll be able to build a simple AI-powered app. You'll learn what responsible AI design is all about. And then you also learn about how to think before you ship, how to build, how to think before even building, and how to think before you ship your product or ship your applications. So you may be wondering, or you may have questions, are we going to be writing code? No, we're not going to be writing any single code throughout the streaming session. But I want you to be rest assured that any knowledge you take from this stream, you can apply it to coding agents. And for this stream, we'll be doing something very simple. We'll be using a non-code platform called Zite. We'll be using that to write code and build an application. I'll be dropping the link while I'm still discussing about what it's all about. I'm just going to drop the link on the comment section so that you can go ahead and sign up if you don't have an account with it. It will pretty fast and pretty easy. All you need is now we'll not be using. So I see a comment on the screen. Use anti-gravity or cursor. No, we won't be using any of these tools you mentioned. We'll not be using any AI coding agents. So these are all AI coding agents that you mentioned, or you have on the screen. We won't be using that. We won't be using Cursor. We won't be using Copilot. We won't be using Codex by ChatGPT. We'll not be using any of that. We'll be using a non-code platform. So this platform is going to write the code behind the scene. We're not going to see the code. So it's still the same prompting, prompt engineering. How you prompt this platform also is how it builds behind the scene. So that's what we'll be using. But this also applies to coding agents like Cursor, Kiro, Copilot, Gemini agents, and so forth. So this also applies to them. Yeah. So it's like a studio. You mentioned like an AI studio. So it's a non-code platform, not really like an. Yeah. I mean, we got to see it and see how it works. Let me just go ahead and drop the link on the comment section. You can go ahead and sign up for a free account. It is called Zeit.com. So you can just head over to Zeit.com. Zeit is spelled Z, yeah, instead of site, Zeit. Okay, so I just dropped that link on the comment section, and you also have it on the screen here. On the screen, Zeit.com. So instead of site, like a site, Zeit using the Z. Oh, I see Ash. You make an app with AI. Will you check it out? Yes, I will. Can you send it over to me on Discord? Happy to check it out. So you can head over to Zeit.com and you can, create, you see an option to create an account. Just go ahead and create an account. If you see an option to create an account, when you create an account, this will take you to fill out. So Zeit is owned by fill out, and you just need one account. If you were on my last stream, I think I showed an example of where we created a form using fill out account. Yeah, so Zeit is also owned by fill out, so you can use one account for the whole product, which is awesome. So you can just go to Zeit.com and sign up for a free account. Just in case you're wondering, I'll just share my other screen so that you'll be able to see what I am referring to. Yeah, so if you go to Zeit.com, you should see exactly what you have on the screen. Just go ahead and click on create an account. Okay, so this is basically what we'll be doing. We'll be prompting and building throughout the day, but we'll be doing that responsibly. And that takes me to what do I actually mean by building responsibly? Again, AI is really easy to add. Like anybody can use AI these days because you have free versions of it. Just before I continue, I have a comment. I say, is it like WordPress but for AI and not just limited to web apps? Okay, so there's some limitations to Zeit, so we'll get to that. But there's some limitation to Zeit. Is literally for a web app, basically for building business softwares, internal tools, and think about it like when you're building internal tools that can be used internally. Yeah, but the whole essence of this stream is not focused on Zeit. Zeit is just a tool. The whole essence of building responsibly applies to using AI in every form. Using it to write, using it to build. So whichever aspect of your day-to-day activities or your workflow that you apply AI, we just want to look at how we build responsibly. Right. So this does not actually apply to just Zeit. Zeit is just a tool. So, but yeah, the main point is how do we build responsibly? When tools are free, people People seem to share too much data these days over the internet. We are going to build a simple app at the end of the day, showing an example of how we can build an app with AI without oversharing too much info. So the goal is to build responsibly, and the goal is to give the AI only what it needs. I mean, we don't want to overshare. We only want to give the data we want to be there. Okay. I see a comment. I've used Emergent one time. That's like, yeah, I haven't used the tools before, that particular tool. So one shot prompt, zero shot prompts, and few shot prompting. Yeah, so it's all about prompting. So what we'll be doing today is also showing uh, about using prompting to build responsibly. So if you look at AI, is like easy to add because there's a lot of tools out there. They can literally plug in or use it to build your platforms or your softwares, whatever you're trying to build. So responsible AI doesn't really mean complicated rules or ethics. What it means is literally collecting only what you need, because you only want to collect what you need, or you also want to give what you need. Again, it's looking from the user's perspective. You also want to be honest with your users, what you are collecting, right? So especially when you visit platforms, let me just give you a hint. When you visit platforms, maybe they are so new to the market, always check their security and privacy documentations. uh, be sure what they collect. When you go ahead to install, putting your details in these platforms, be sure you have read the privacy and the security. Check how complex they are with the necessary standards, so that you are not giving too much information that you should not. So that is still part of when you're trying to build responsibly. So you as the builder, you're using this specific tool, you should be able to understand the details and the data that this tool is collecting when you give it, information. And you also need to be honest with your users. Who are you going to be using your platform? You have to be honest with them what you are collecting, because at the end of the day, I'll give you an example. How many of you seen a video that was made with AI, and it's easy to ignore a video that is made with AI than it is to watch a video that someone is on the screen speaking. Okay, let's say this stream is powered by AI. It is like an avatar right here speaking to you about, building responsibly. It gets a little bit boring along the way because it's an AI. It's not really going to communicate or give out information the way you want. So my point is, you can use that, but be honest how you are using it on the platform, right? So it's like, when you have a shopping an e-commerce website, and you have a third party that you use for the payment, you need to tell your users which third party you are using for the payment. Like, you need to be so transparent and honest of what you are using, because this is a sensitive data that you're collecting. So that's the whole goal of this stream, how to build responsibly. And part of that is what you are collecting from the users. Tell the users what you are doing with the data you're collecting. And this all starts with, if you're going to be using AI to build, then be sure that whichever platform you are using, you understand their privacy. You understand how complex they are, so that you know that you can trust them, and your users can also trust them. So most users trust you based on what you are using, not literally based on what the application does. So example is, we have Stripe, right, for payment collection. A lot of users are willing to use your platform if they see Stripe, because of they have built trust over the years. So people trust to put their financial details into Stripe. Than when it comes to your platform and you're using a payment gateway that they don't know about, they'll be afraid to put their details into your platform. So it's all about honesty, and it's also all about trust. So I agree with you too. So it's all about trust and being honest and being transparent when you are building. So I'd like to read the privacy policy for every software I use because it is very important nowadays, but it's kind of boring. And I just want to get to my task on that software. I mean, a lot of people don't read licenses, a lot of people don't read privacies, and which is why a lot of people lose in the law. When you're finally being sued to the court, so you lose because the first question is, did you read the license? They quote one of the lines on the license, and you did not read the license. The judge have nothing to to do again. You're at fault. So again, always read the license. You need to read the license. Read the license. Read what the license says. Read the privacy, so that tomorrow, if something goes against the rule, you have evidence. Okay, in your license, in your privacy, you stated this, but this happens the other way. Yeah. Uh, in my previous company, most customers don't read license. They don't read terms and conditions, right? So we have a software. We have softwares. We have softwares, and it's subscription based. And customers, when you subscribe for uh, annual subscriptions, yearly, and you want to forfeit it along the way, the license actually says you can't because it's a commitment. So if you have committed for like a year, along the way, if you want to forfeit your license, if you want to cancel the subscription, you are free to cancel it, but they're not going to refund you, and you have to keep using the software for the rest of the year, right? That was in the license. It was in the terms and condition. If you're trying to apply, if you're trying to, subscribe to the annual subscription. But I still have a lot of customers complain about this. Like, okay, I want to cancel my subscription. I can't. Why can't I? And you're referencing them back to the subscription terms and condition. It is stated right here, and it is bolded that when you commit to a year, you can't cancel and get refunded. You have to finish the term. It's like a contract, right? It's like a contract. So but they don't read that. So because of that, they come back to complain. So you need to read that. Read those informations. Let me tell you what I do. I know it's very boring. Sometimes it's very long. What I do is, if I have specific concerns about a privacy, about a license, AI is actually there to help me. So I just plug in the license or the privacy documentation. I plug it into AI, maybe ChatGPT or Gemini, and I have concerns. If I have specific concerns, maybe I ask it to summarize this based on my concerns. Look, I'm looking for this, that, that. Let me know if this goes against what I'm looking for, or if it's meets what I'm looking for. So you can also use AI for that. I mean, what big companies do is, whenever they're going to contract with other company, all the whole documents go sent to the law department, or they take care of that. But I mean, you still need to read these things by yourself. So you can also use AI to read that. Let it know your concerns, and let it know if the license or the privacy or the security documentation meets your standard of what you're looking for. So, I mean, that's to the comments on the screen. Always read it, even though it's boring. It helps you on the long run to actually know that your data are safe, right? So that tomorrow you don't start complaining. Why? Maybe if you go to the documentation, they also noted it that they will be using your data for a specific purpose. So, which is back to what we are doing today, building responsibly. So, privacy first design, transparency, reliability, and user trust. I always look at this from a DevOps perspective, or from a security perspective, or from an engineering perspective. There's what we call identity access management, which is literally how you communicate with your resources in the company, right? Example, in AWS, we have something we call I am. It's not really AWS perspective, but like all the whole cloud platforms house I am, which is an access identity management. This is literally how you manage your users and the resources they have access to in our organization. In an organization, we have, let's say, the engineering team, we have the HR teams, we have the DevOps team, we have the support team. We have different teams. There are things the engineering team have access to. Example is like they'll have access to the code base on GitHub or Gitpocket, whichever repository they're using. The engineering team will have access to that. Even within the engineering team, there are still junior engineers, senior engineers, and staff engineers. They have different access to different things still within the repository, right? Okay, a junior engineer have access to make a pull request, but he does not have access to merge it. Then there is like a staff engineer who will read a pull request and merge it. So my point is, everybody should have access to what they need. So which also brings us to what you have on the screen. Privacy first design, transparency, reliability, and user trust. Don't tell your users your data is not going to be used for marketing, and at the end of the day, you are taking their data and you're putting it into a marketing channel. That is you not building trust, right? Also, give your users access to give your users some level of control to control where the data goes and where it does not. It's like newsletter. When customers subscribe to newsletter, they also have the control to unsubscribe from the newsletter, which is giving the users control of what they receive or what they don't receive. Well, so the whole idea is build with these four things in mind when building a software, right? Build with privacy first. Make sure that the data that are not supposed to be out and not out. The data you're not supposed to give to the AI shouldn't be given to the AI. Be with transparency, be transparent, be honest, reliability, and if you cover the three, that actually brings you to user trust, because users will trust you if they don't have issues with data being leaked and so forth. Okay, so we're actually going to see how we can do this. The app we are going to build is something I called Should I Share This? So I want the whole idea to be all around privacy. So it's simply an AI privacy checker. And the whole idea here comes from people sharing, some informations online that shouldn't be online and so forth. Some people have shared informations that comes back to hurt them on the long run. I have heard stories of people who have been denied like visas to other countries just because of their social media presence, like comment to the things they shared online, the comment they made. At some point, I think some organizations also do that when you apply for a job, specifically if you're going to occupy, even when you're occupying not so sensitive positions. Some organizations look at your social media presence. They How are we gonna just go to the comment section? So Sophia says, how are we gonna make this without data issues? Okay, well, we look at that because we're not going to be storing any data. We literally we're not going to be storing any data, so no database. So it's literally we're going to be giving AI give us back, and that's it. It's more like a view once. If on WhatsApp, when you share a view once data, the person views the data and it disappears. That kind of scenario, that kind of security check, that is like how we're trying to build this. So we give AI the data, but we are not asking it to save it. So it's not going to save it. Yeah, so back to my story. People have been denied visas, people have been denied opportunities because of what they have put out there in this on social media. So that is actually where I got the idea of what we're going to build. An app that when you want to share something online, it's more like a checker. You put it out here, you put it on the app. It checks, okay, this is cool to share or this is not cool to share. So the problem we're trying to solve with this is people overshare online. So apps collect too much data. You share a lot of things on LinkedIn, you share a lot of things on IG, you share a lot of things on Twitter, other social media platforms that you're not supposed to share. So users really get guidance on, okay, should I share this or should I not share that? So that is the idea we are coming from. So I just wanted it to be all around maybe privacy, thinking before doing, which is also enforcing the way we build. So if you're going to do something, think about it firstly. So they're like design mindset. So our app principle here is minimal data. So no database. We're not going to be using any data storage, advisory, and not judgmental. Right. If you see some individuals give advice, let's say example the stock market. So I could share my view about stock market. I'm like, okay, this stock is going to do this, do this percentage in the next month. At the end of the day, I just put a disclaimer. Hey, this is not a financial advice. Do your own research. This is just a personal opinion. Again, so that is also something we want to also employ or implement in our app. You must have seen that using ChatGPT, Gemini, and so forth. They'll tell you AI can make mistakes as well, right? And AI can also not be 100% correct. Exactly. So it's a disclaimer. So you need to don't overpromise your users when building with AI. If your application depends on AI, don't overpromise. You will never see cloud platforms promise 100% uh, 100% downtime. They will never promise 100% downtime. If you read AWS SLA, service level agreement, if you read Amazon, Google SLA, they'll always promise 99% because its machine is a robot. It can never give you 100%, right? So they always don't overpromise. So the point is don't overpromise. So always give a disclaimer. Hey, we are aiming for 100%, but we can't give you 100%. We can't give you 99% because nobody is like 100%. Even AI, human, nothing is 100% ever. So it's always going to be somewhere. There's always going to be some mistakes. Even humans make mistakes. So who can't make mistakes? So at the end of the day, don't overpromise and always leave that disclaimer that this is powered by AI, so it can make mistakes. So always double check, always look very well before you cross the road. So this is literally our app flow. User puts in data, give it the data, type in something, the app, then give it to AI, then AI gives a response back. We're going to do all this just by prompting. So we're not writing any single line of code. I'll go ahead and drop the link to the platform we'll be using. We'll be using Zeit. Drop it again on the comment section and I'll put it up on the screen. So we're using Zeit for this. Again, Zeit is just a tool. So this also applies to any coding agent or any non-code platform out there. Anything that has to do with AI, right? It's the same mindset. It's the same mindset, the same principles. Just build with any tool, but apply the same principles. But for this session, we'll be using Zeit. You have free versions. I think they give you. I don't have the credit that's up here, but they give you some credit that you can actually use to experiment, and the credit also resets like every month if you run it down before the end of the month or so. And they have their plans too, which you can check up on your own. Okay, so let's actually go ahead and start building. So this is going to be a prompt. What I'll do is I'll share the prompt. You can build on your own. You can build later on. You can, play along on the platform. And just before I go ahead, I just want to let you know that when building with AI, precisely when it comes to prompting, I mean, AI is really about prompting. That is why it looks like every role out there is asking you if you have AI experience, and they're not literally asking you if you know how to code models, build models from start up. They're literally asking you if you have knowledge or if you know how to use AI very well. Uh, on my live stream, I'll mention that using AI to code. Now let's bring it to coding, and let's also bring it to non-coding. Writers use AI to write, but if you're not a great writer, if you're not a great writer and you use AI to write, it's going to be different from a writer who uses AI to write. Like, the difference will be clear. There's going to be a big difference. This person writes before he or she employs AI to help with the task. The way he thinks and the way he prompts the AI is going to be different to someone who does not write. It is not your field, but you just want to write with AI. So that also applies to coding when you are writing programs. That also applies to just looking at the comment section. You have completed the quest on all prompt engineering in the challenges session that will help shortly. Yeah. So that also, yeah. So back to it. So I think my point is great engineers use AI very well. We have to find the challenges. Can someone share? We have to find the challenges on the comment section. Let me look it up right quick. Okay, I've gotten the link. I just share it in the comment section and I'll put it up there. Yeah, I think someone already did. I'll just put it up again and bring it up on the screen. Okay, so you can bring in the comment section and this is up there on the screen. So the same applies to engineers. When you know, understand the concept and how to build, then when you are prompting, the prompts and the way you think is different. Though you can learn how to prompt, but when you know something already, you actually know you're thinking like what you know. If you write JavaScript, you're thinking like a JavaScript developer. So when you are prompting, the way you prompt is going to be different from someone who does not understand JavaScript. So that's the point. So these days is all about prompting. Knowing how to prompt very well helps you actually get the work faster as an engineer, as a designer, as a writer. So we're using Zeit and we'll be prompting to build our software. So I already have the prompts. I've already prepared for this. I'll just go ahead and I'll copy that prompt. Okay, before that, I'll sign in to Zeit. I just click on signing. I already have an account, but if you don't, just click on create account. You can just create account with Google, with your Google account, and you should be able to sign in real quick. Okay, so this is Zeit, and this is where we can actually start our prompt. So if you sign up, you should You should see something similar to what you have on the screen. If you don't, you can be able to click on create right here, and you'll see Zeit. You can click on that also. You can also see app. You can click on that, and it will bring you this menu too. So I have a comment section right here. Say, I kind of joined late. What's going on? Hi, Krista. How are you doing? So we are talking about building with AI responsibly. So we are literally talking about how to be responsibly, how to build responsibly, how not to overshare what we don't want, and how to make sure that our users can trust us. And of course, you can always replay the streams later on, but we are not so far. So we are moving from the theoretical part of you know advantages of building responsibly, what it means to build responsibly, to actually using a tool, an AI tool, to build responsibly. So we're using an AI tool called Zeit, which I have on the screen. You can literally just sign up with Zeit with your Google account. It's like that quick, and you can actually follow along if you want to follow along. Okay, Sophia asked where to find recording of past streams. You can actually find them on YouTube. Just drop the link for you. If you go to YouTube, let me head YouTube. I'm just gonna drop that link for you. Yeah, if you go to YouTube and search for Major League Hacking, you have access to the past streams. So I just dropped that link for you. Yeah, I think someone already dropped it, but I'll just go ahead and drop it again. Hello, hello. Yeah, so this is the link. Yeah, just dropping it again. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. So this is the link to the YouTube, so you can actually, watch the streams if you missed any. Okay, so back to building. For our prompts, we can literally start by telling AI what we want to name the app. We cannot. It depends on what we want to do. Okay, welcome. So you haven't missed a lot. You haven't missed a lot. We just moved from the theoretical part to getting our hands dirty parts. Kind of building with Zeit. So if you're just joining, we're using Zeit to see how we can vibe code responsibly. You have Zeit on the screen, Zeit.com. So you can literally just go ahead to your browser and go to Zeit.com, sign up with Google accounts, and you should be able to follow along of what we're doing. So we're building with Zeit. Zeit is a non-code platform that helps you build business apps with AI. And again, I mentioned reading privacies, reading security documents, just to make sure. Hello, thank you, welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. Is that kind of build backend stuff? It does. The difference is it's not going to give you access to the code, so you will not have access to the code with Zeit. They host everything, the infrastructure, so you don't have access to the code. You can't actually edit the code, but you can prompt and it keeps building. So it's not a coding agent. It's not a coding agent, so it's not going to give you access to code. You just have access to the UI, and you can keep prompting. You can integrate with data and so forth. So you can read more about it. I'll just drop the documentation also, just in case you want to read more about it. Yeah, so you can literally go to Zeit, fila.com/help/Zeit, and you can read more about it. So we can see the code. Yes, you can see the code. It is not a coding agent. Yeah. Remember, okay, if you joined earlier, I mentioned we're not going to be writing code in this stream. We'll just be building, we'll be vibe coding without writing code. That's the whole purpose of this stream. Vibe coding responsibly without writing code. So it is not a coding agent. It is a non-code platform that helps you build with AI. So you'll not be able to see the code. Yes, that's correct. only front end part, only front end part only. It builds the front end at the back end. It does whatever you ask it to do, basically. Right? But you will not have access to the code. That's just the limitation. So if you are building to take the code, no, Z is not going to give you access to that. So this is not the tool for that. Again, it's just a tool. It has its purpose. So if it does not meet your purpose, you don't necessarily need to use it. But for this stream, we'll be using it, right? So again, it is not a coding agent. So if you're looking for a coding agent, you can use Cursor, you can use Kiro by AWS, you can use Copilot, you can use Gemini agent, you can use Codex by OpenAI. So there's a lot of them out there if you're looking for a coding agent, right? So the whole goal here is to write code responsibly. This applies to whether you're building on, the coding agents or not. So it's kind of Google AI Studio. Yeah, I think so. I have not really used Google AI Studio, but from the World AI Studio, I think that's I think that's what it does. Yeah, I think that's what it does. So Google AI Studio should be similar to Amazon SageMaker, I think. So they should be literally doing the same thing. Yeah. So they don't give you access to the code. You just build and host the infrastructure with them at the same time. Yeah, so I'll just go ahead and pin the link again on the screen, just in case you join in and you want to sign up. You can just go ahead and sign up, and I'll be dropping the documentation too, just in case you want to check out the Z documentation. And the purpose of checking the documentation is if you're going to use a tool, read about the tool, read about the tool privacy, read about the tool security, know exactly what you are using and where your data is going. Yeah, this is Zai documentation, so you can literally read about it. And you can also look at the security. Yeah, I think they have like a search, to search right here. You can search for security. Look for that document. Like always look for the security document. Security, I'd fill out. So read about the document, read about it. You can see there are actually SEO type complaints, which is cool. You can read about the data, how they use the data infrastructure. So always look for the security and legal documents for any tool you're trying to use. So I mentioned that earlier. Okay, so does it also build back end? I mentioned it builds back end, but you don't have access to the code. Or only serverless app. It builds full stack applications for you, but you don't have access to the code. That's the difference. That's another comment here. But coding has lots of negative stigma around it, especially for freshers. So this breaks that school of thought by devising coding responsibly with AI. Thanks for taking this lesson. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and if you attended my last stream, I mentioned earlier, if you're a fresher, if you're a beginner, you're learning programming for the first time, stay away from coding agents. Like, stay away from them. Yeah. If you are going to prompt agent to write a variable for you, call this, call that, do it yourself, right? Learn programming. If you're learning programming for the first time, learn programming like there is no code, there is no AI. Like, focus on learning programming. Like, AI does not exist, right? That helps you learn the fundamentals and understand how it works. This brings us to, you can't use a tool if you don't know how. It's like there's difference with athletes like footballers, pro footballers, and gamers who just play PS5. It's two different things. I can't compete with Mbappe on the field, even though I can compete with Mbappe if it comes to PS5, but I can't compete with Mbappe on the main field. So there's always going to be a difference, right? So don't start. You can't actually say, okay, I'm playing PS5, so I can actually sign for Real Madrid. I'm playing for Real Madrid from your experience of PS5. Like, so the point is, you can't just start using AI to build applications if you don't understand, the life cycle of software engineering, programming fundamentals, and so forth. that you build it. You can build, you can understand prompting and build, but on the long run, you're going to uh, employ security vulnerabilities and lose money and lose trust from your users and so forth. So a lot of things may happen along the way. So, but you can try your luck anyways. I mean, no one says you can't. But the point is, learn the fundamentals before using the tools that can help you build faster. Okay, so after this, can you make quick like prompts? You're the 101 understanding like 5 minutes, please. Okay, we'll try and do that. Does this make an app? No, it makes a web app. It doesn't make a mobile app. It's also that to me. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so always read the privacy policy, read the security documentations for any tool you're using. It is part of building responsibly. It is part of building responsibly. So always read the documentation for any tool you're trying to use. Thank you. You're welcome. So if you're trying to use any coding agent, read about it. Just try and read it again. And especially if you're going to use it and you're bidding for production that other people are going to use. They want to understand where the data is living, who is hosting their data, and so forth. So an example is like Zite. Zite is actually hosting the data in AWS. I mean, they literally state that there, that they're using render.com to host the data on AWS. You need to be transparent. Again, this is being transparent. So you understand that, okay, I trust AWS to hold my data, right? So your users also need to understand where the data is living, where the tools your data your applications are using are being hosted as well. So part of being honest and transparent when building with any tool, your users need to know this. So these are the things you also look forward to. If you're using a tool, look at all these things, where it is hosted, compliance and so forth. And how your data are being encrypted and so forth. So you need to be aware of this. I don't really know one offhand. Yeah, not really, haven't really been a fan of mobile apps. So, but you can just do a little of research. I think there is a lot of them out there that can actually help you build mobile apps, by coding. But you can just do some research. I don't know one offhand. Okay, so I have my prompt, and this is what my prompt looks like. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I have a prompt I organize. Where is my prompt? Okay, so it's actually very simple. Like, okay, build a simple web app called, should I share this? That's the name of our app. And the app, when you're prompting, I think, yeah, prompting 101, just like you asked, you have to be so explicit. You have to be very precise of what you want. AI is dumb. Remember that. It is a robot. It is like your remote. You only press and it does, right? So you have to be as precise as possible. I think someone is answering the question about you building with mobile. He mentioned PWA. You could use it to make a PWA that is responsive and mobile. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that you can build web apps and convert it to PWA, progressive web apps. But if you're looking for, you can still research about the ones that can actually help you build native ones that you can put on Play Store and Apple stores. So PWAs does not actually go to Apple Store or Play Stores. So they can install it from the browser. It just installs and keep the data offline and so very cool as well. So back to prompting 101, you have to be very clear, as clear as possible, what you want the AI to do. It's like writing user stories. So whenever I'm prompting, I'm thinking from I'm thinking from the point of writing a user story. Um, so if I worked in an agile development team, uh, we always define the user stories. The Scrum Master or the program manager will define the user stories of what they want the engineers to build. User stories always go this way. So let's say we are trying to design a client intake interface on our platform. A Scrum Master or the program manager for the team will usually define the user stories like this. So as a user, I want to be able to do this, do this, do this, do this. Like it defined it from a user's perspective, right? That's actually how Scrum Masters, program managers write user stories. Like it has been proven to work all the time, helps the engineers to build from the user perspective, right? So you shouldn't be writing it from a developer perspective. Put a div here, put a screen or event. Like, it should be from the user perspective. So also when prompting, prompt AI, like you are prompting from a user perspective. Though you can be very specific and also be very detailed enough, even if you want to, like, even when you're coding, also be detailed enough. If you're asking it to do a specific logic, also write from a user perspective, then be detailed enough, like you are giving it to a developer as well, but you're explaining it, in such a way that a user is a user using the platform. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm being like very specific and I'm writing this like a user story. And number one, because this is not really a coding agent, though it is a building agent in this case. So I just want it to be user story format. So the app should do this: have a large text input where user can paste text, they plan to share online, have a button label, check for privacy checks, show an AI generated response below the input. So there's like put a disclaimer. So the app should not store or save any user data. I mean, that last line is not really necessary. I'll tell you why it's not really necessary, because we're not integrating any database to this, right? Even though Zite have access to database, so you can literally integrate the database. We can integrate Airtable, we can integrate the Zite database and Google Sheet and so forth. But we are being specific that it should not integrate to any database. Okay. Yes, I have the prompt. Give me 1 second. I'll make it available. I'll make it available. Just give me 1 second. So I'll just go ahead and click on build it. I'll totally show you something, but yeah, when it's done building, I'll show you. So Zite also have like options like plan, where you can actually put in the whole plan you have for building, like more like put in the whole plan. When you want to build an application, you plan. And now something happens. If you look at the screen, it's asking me to connect to OpenAI. The reason it's doing that is because I said show an AI generated response below the input, right? So it needs to connect to AI. So it's actually very smart. It understands that we are trying to build a platform where we take data, give it to an AI model to check mark and return details back to us. So Zite also connects to OpenAI, which can actually do that for us. If you're using it from your end, I think it gives you two options. You can connect yours. You can connect yours using your API key. So it gives you two options. You can connect yours using your custom API key. So if you want to make use of your own subscription for the OpenAI, you can do that. Or you can also use Site own. So the difference is Site will charge you for using their own OpenAI subscription, kind of. So, but yeah, but you can bring your own or you can use Site on. I'll just go ahead and use Site on and click on connect. It asked me the model I want to. I just stick with the 5. Yeah, I think these are the only models they have right now. Don't have 5.3 yet. So I'll just stick with 5. Click on done, and it will continue, creating the layout. Now, because I did not actually give it design user stories or design prompt, it's going to just assume on its own and give me any design. But if I'm looking for a specific design, I have to still be specific to the prompt. I want it to be this way, that way. You can even bring a design. So if you have a wireframe you have already drawn of how you want the app to be, you can still bring it in. What's it called? Maybe a Figma drawing. You can put it on export it as a picture and still give it to site. It will copy that layout and give it back, the design you're looking for. Okay, so it has given me a cool interface. Should I share these? Check your text for privacy risks before sharing online. It gives me an option to put in a text and check. I am going to give me 1 second. What I'm going to do right now is get the whole prompt I'm using. Let me open a notepad. I'll just open this. So we're here. Let me just do that directly. So I'll open the Google Doc and I just put in the whole prompt I'm using and I will share that with everyone. Okay, let's see. So this is just a prompt. I don't need yeah. So I'll share the link right now. So for every prompt I entered, I will share it there so you'll be seeing it in real time. How do I share again here? Yeah, here we go. Share. Anyone with the link can can view. Copy link. Okay. I just shared a Google link to the prompt that I'm using for this stream, so you can copy and follow along. So let me know if someone accesses the link. I want to make sure it's accessible. So this is the first prompt. If you open the link, the first prompt I have entered is right there on the document. So you should be able to just copy and paste it right here. So you should copy like the build a sample web app called this. Just copy that and you can paste it right here on the site. It's accessible. Okay, thank you. So you have access to that. So for every prompt I entered, I will just copy and paste it here as well. Okay, so let's test our app. Let's see if it is actually working. Notice, okay, let's say, I'm looking for an example of what we can share. Let me see if I can create, let me generate a prompt. Just not a prompt. Can someone give me something we can try to publish? Let's say I'm trying to share something online. Uh, Anyone? If not, I'm just gonna use AI to generate one. I don't want to think so much and share some private info in here. So let me leave AI generate a fusion that I can use. Okay, let's try this. So I copy this. Okay, it's accessible. Thank you. You're welcome. I just copy something that looks a little bit private. Okay, I just landed in Lagos. I'm staying at 24 Allen Avenue for the next 5 days. If you're rent, pull up. This is a very information that you should share. The UI looks different. Yes, it will look different because can you show me the link to yours? Just click on share, publish it, and share. So you all can drop the link to your Zeit apps. Let's see the different UIs it generates. And again, it have to be different. Okay, I'll check that out right now. Oh, I have to copy that. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me get that. You can't edit. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm just going to get that link you shared with me. Okay, so this is the link you shared. I just opened that. Have any other person you can share your link? Let's see. So this is what yours looks like. Okay, so this is what yours looks like. This is what mine looks like. Again, we did not specifically give it a design, right? To think of it, just make something of itself. Yeah, you can share. You can if you have you can just publish and share. I just want to look at the design. So Sophia, you say you can't edit the text field. I can actually edit the. Oh, like it gave you. I think it gave you a what's it called placeholder. It gave you a placeholder, but it's editable. Like it's just a placeholder. It gave you a placeholder, but you can actually type in inside it. It gave you a placeholder. Yeah. Okay, let's look at yours. Okay, your test is analyzed in real time and it's never stored or saved. This tool is for guidance only. There's the data. Yeah, different designs. Can you send the placeholder tests? Okay, so you can literally ask it to change the placeholder or remove the placeholder. So this is yours. This is yours, Sophia. This is yours, and this is the placeholder. It's again, you can't edit it. Mine does not have a placeholder. I think it does not. It just a place your test here, but you can basically tell it, hey, remove the placeholder on the test box, and it will remove that. Or you can usually ask it to change the placeholder. Though it also gives access to edit some elements here, so you can see if that works. Not sure, but you can also do this. So you can click on you can see this edit option here. You can click on that and you can select each element. So I guess on yours, you can see if you can click on the text and see if there's a way you can change the placeholder from here. I guess not. Yeah, I guess you can't. You can, yeah, you can literally do this, just select that and click on AI edit, then just prompt it what you want it to do. Hey, I want it to remove the placeholder or do this or do that. So you can specifically select, any area of the app and ask Dyke to do something about it. Yeah. Again, so we're looking at three different designs right here. So this is mine. You can see it's like so black. And this is another one, different design, different color. And another one, different design, different color. So we are all going to have different designs and different color. Or else we are actually using a specific prompt that is doing the specific thing. I'll give you an example. If in the prompt we ask it to use a specific color, a specific, primary color, button color, then it will look a bit the same, but it's not going to be so the same because it's different people prompting. The only chances of it being exactly the same is if I take a screenshot of, let's say, Sophia's own, and I just paste it into Zart. That is going to give me exactly what I have on the screenshot. I see a message here say I had an npm package error after its first build. It asked me if I wanted to fix the error for free. So I did that. Don't know what that was about. Sorry, I don't write the code. Yeah, I think that's just a limitation, right? Maybe it has some issues behind the scene where it was trying to spin up some packages and so forth. Network error, I don't know. But when you click on fix, it try to fix it again. I think this also happens with agents, right? Yeah, I think I've used Copilot. It's writing a code along the way. Something happens, it returns an error. I can literally continue that or look at the code yourself. But this one does not give you access to the code, so you can literally look at it on your end. Okay, so let's test this and see. Just test this. I'll test it with one of your apps. Oh, it was a vector dependency error. Yeah, so that's React, right, behind the scene. Let me test it with this. I just press this prompt. I just landed in Legos. I'm staying at 24. Oh, the text. Okay, let me send out. I just put that on the doc. Yeah, you should be able to see that on the doc. So you can just change some things, maybe location and so. So this looks like every sensitive information to give. Like people shouldn't actually know exactly where you are and where you are. It's very sensitive. What if you have someone that wants to, surprise you unknowingly? I'm thinking from bad surprises now. Okay, let's click on check and let's see what AI does. Okay, so that is taking a lot of time. Analyzing. Not sure why it's taking so much time. I'll just go ahead and try it here as well. Yeah, it's not so fast. I don't know why. Oh, I think it gave me something now. Okay. Okay, that's a lot of results coming out. It says key privacy risk in this test. Your exact location is there. Yeah, it was taking so much time, but yeah, it's actually giving us results. Privacy check, information, no names, phone numbers, or emails in the test. Okay, financial information, none. Location, shares exact login address. Yeah, which is not good. Often, yeah, real time invitation, just like what I said. Someone that can just pull up. Yeah, it's just ChatGPT analyzing, right? I think that us, yeah, it's just ChatGPT analyzing behind it because we plug in OpenAI. Yeah, it will also give you recommendation of what to do and what not to do. Again, this is what we prompt it to do, right? We say have a large test, have a button, check this, and give us back. Now, well, because we ask it to build a simple web app called Should I Share This? AI is kind of smart. It assumes a lot. So it uses that keyword, should I share this? To know that we are building a privacy checker app that checks what we paste before we post it. Yeah, so it's just AI. So it's actually built around keywords. So it's using the keyword, should I share this, to know exactly what we're trying to build. Okay. So it gives you a recommendation and also rewrite several rewrite example for you. Yeah, the power of models. Should I? Okay, just touch down in Lagos. If you're around, DM me in that Ikeja area this week. Message me if you want to. So it gives you two examples you can use to replace, that line of consign that it found, which is literally the location. You know. So I mean, you can now decide. Okay, I'll go with this because this is more discreet. I just told them Lagos. If you're around, DM me. So you have to tell me, DM me before I give my location. Kind of. Okay, so that's an example of what we're trying to build. Okay, so let's see if we can do more. Let's see. So add the notes. Let's say add the notes. I'm gonna copy that and also paste on the doc. And this is the prompt. I'm literally just saying add the note below the AI response. Yeah, add the note below the AI response that says this response is generated by AI and should be treated as guidance, not a guarantee. So transparency, build trust. Just trying to also let people using this that is just an AI behind the scene. So it could be wrong. So you can literally use it as a guide, as a guardian, not literally as an advice, right? Yeah. So let's use this as an example. Uh, a celebrity is in town and just posted where he is, and he's expecting his fans to show up, right? But then again, this is from example I gave where I said you could give financial advice, but give a disclaimer that this is not a financial advice, right? Do your own research. It's like I say, go and buy Google's stock. It is going to do well in the next few months because of this, that, that. This is not a financial advice. Still do your own research before you go and put your money inside a stock. Exactly. So we also want to let people know that okay, this is doing this, but this is not. It's not like a life, guidance app. It's just an AI. So also just use it as a guidance, not as a check mark, basically. I just paste that. I have another example, Zeit's app. I'm just gonna copy that and also put it on the screen. Let's see. Okay, we should have another example here. If you check, it gave it different names. So it gave this one privacy checker. I don't know if you're the one that prompted to give it that same name, the privacy checker name, or it just imagine the name. This one is, should I share this? Let me actually check what mine is. If I open it, let me see. My own is safe share. Yeah, the same name here. The same name here. Safe share, safe share. Yeah, so mine is safe share. Okay, I just stick with it on the. So it has actually done that. So let's see if I try to. Yeah, it just added that here. This is response generated by AI and should be treated as guidance, not a guarantee. Awesome. Okay, so the third one that was shared in the comment section, the design also different, a bit different design. Let's see from this, and also this different design from this. So like, to just develop a different UI because we did not specifically ask it to do a specific UI for us. So we are putting these here. This is coming from my uh, description of when you're building. Let your users, let your audience know that be honest, be transparent. What is happening behind the scene? Don't tell them this is guaranteed. This is not a guarantee that somebody's not going to pull up on you if it's not share your location. So again, it's not a guarantee. It's just a guidance. So this is part of being when you're building, implementing responsibly, being honest, transparent, why building, so that people using your product knows this is what it does and this is what it cannot do. So it's not like a guarantee. It can't be 100%. So this is not going to guarantee you're going to be safe in your location, but it's just helping you not to share too much. But it does not mean that the little you share can be used, to your advantage or so. So just be transparent and honest. Okay, let's see if we can add any other examples. Let me see. I'm just gonna pull these. Let's see if you can show a friendly message if the input is empty. Okay, just before that, does it actually check if the input is empty? Oh, okay, automatically disable this. Okay. Okay, I have another link. I'll just go ahead and open that. Okay, so we have another design right here, and it's called Share Advice App. Okay, so back here, I wanted to prompt show a friendly message if the input is empty, limiting the maximum text length, keeping the language supportive and non-alarming. Yeah, so this is trying to bring in good good UI and US, basically US into application. I just drop that prompt here, and I also drop it on the doc. So show a friendly message if the prompt is empty. If this is empty, show a friendly message. Limiting the maximum text length. We can also limit that. We can be more specific if we want to. Keeping the language supportive and non-alarming. Okay. And also, the output is kind of long. You can also do something about that, right? Let's I don't like the way it returns the output. It's not well designed. It's looking too rough and not aligned. So we can also prompt it to just give out the info back in a friendly, good UI way. So since we did not specify any fixed format for the AI response, it always generates a different formatted response, right? Yes, it does. It just generates anything from its own. Yeah. Again, you can literally specify, be more specific how exactly you want it to generate and build. Okay, so it has given us a limit of 5,000 characters automatically. Though we did not specify, but it just assumed 5,000 characters. And we are here to help you share safely. Okay, that is cool. What else can we do? Let's see. So you can experiment. So let's talk about bias and reliability, right? Like again, AI is always going to be biased because the thoughts I'm giving it from the thoughts we're giving it is quite different. So I'm pretty sure you're going to have the different results, just like what we're seeing right now. Like even though we're using like the same prompt, we are having different results on our ends, right? Like it's giving me a different UI and design. It's giving Sophia a different one. It's giving some other person a different one, and so forth. So it's always going to be biased. Uh, because it just looks at a pattern. It's AI kind of look at patterns. If I have been writing this way before now, it's just go ahead and pick that format. Like, okay, this is what I like. Or X, I'm specifically telling it do this. It's just going to copy from history I have given it before now. Which is why you should always read the documentation and know, how long does this store your data? Can I delete my data? Because I'm pretty sure if I go to Gemini or ChatGPT right now and ask it to tell me a little bit about me, it have a lot of information about me. Like it has a lot of information. But there's an option where I can actually delete those data. Yeah, so you should always read any tool you're trying to use. Make sure you have a way to get rid of it and also have a way to know how your data are being stored and being used. What can we do again? Yeah, I think you can actually experiment on your own. Like add more stuff. But so far, I think the app is doing what it's meant to do. Just check for text for whatever we want to post. Let's try another example. Let's see. Let's try another example. So you can try another example on your end. So if you look at Zeit, you can see we don't have any database, right? So this info is usually going nowhere, except that we are just sending the data to OpenAI, and yeah, we're just sending the data to OpenAI, and OpenAI is this actually gives us access to the code, not usually the code to the application. Is okay. This is the workflow, and this is literally what is and this is basically what is going on. Let me click on view, no, not view. Yeah, view. It shows us the input. It's just showing us what is going on. Like it takes an input, which is a test. It gives us an output. It's just a workflow that shows you like a visual diagram of what is going on the application. So this is just for site designs and stuff. Okay, and you send this to OpenAI and it returns this back to you. Yeah, that's pretty much the only workflow we have. We don't have any database, we just have our app. So we're actually not saving the user's data. So at the end of the day, if we're publishing these applications, we can literally tell the users that your applications are not saved anywhere. It is, just right there, right there. If you refresh, it disappears. So you just have to be honest with them. So you can experiment and just keep it going. You can play with Zite. You can implement everything we have learned so far while building with AI, whether it is non-code platform, whether it is coding agents, whichever AI you are plugging into your applications, just build responsibly. Whether it's coding or non-coding, just again, even when building for yourself and when building for other people, it's build responsibly. That's the whole goal. I'll just try this example. I just signed the lease, my full name, date of birth, ID, a document I shared earlier. Can't wait to move to the next week. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, this poses some kind of security risk. People knowing where you live, your name, date of birth, and so forth. Okay, I see a comment here say, since I didn't specify any recommendations, it just ends with generic AI response. If you like, I can help you refine the exact wording based on your comfort level you want to reach with no actual recommendations. Oh, yeah. So you can literally, I mean, again, AI is not thinking like you. So you have to like feed it information on how to think, and then it will think that way. Let's actually do that. So with the privacy analysis that it returns, mm, okay, it's not giving me recommendations now, is it? Okay, it actually gave me recognition, several captions, ideas. The lead sign, can't wait to get settled soon. That's all. New chapter ahead, so excited for the move. Helpful tips, remove or yeah, yeah, it gives you details and gives me it also is giving me recommendations. Not sure why it's not, but you can literally ask it exactly how you want the output to be. For me, I think I'll just prompt it to make the analysis at privacy analysis. Yeah, just copy this. More readable. Mm-hmm. So you can play along with it. But the whole goal of this stream is to build responsibly when building with AI. Right, by coding, uh, it gave me some tweaks, but then at the end, it put that message. Yeah, so you can usually copy that message. Copy that message. You don't want it to appear at the end. Paste it into the build and ask it. Don't give me this at the end. You can literally do that. Okay, yeah, I think Zite have like different versions based on the plan you're on. So on the free plan, I think they give you the default. So I think the more plan you go through, the more speed and options you have to choose, and the intelligence as well. Yeah, you can just do that. Just copy that text message and like, hey, I don't want to be seeing this text message again. Okay, let me check what it gave me now. I think the app will look better. I think, but let's see. Let me put it on full screen. Let me try mobile view. Yeah, it looks good on mobile. Okay, I think they. Yeah, looks better, but not that better. Yeah, I'm not sure it's actually doing what exactly I'm asking it to do. Oh, 5,000 characters remaining. That's here, or is it your credits? So here, referring to your question, it says 5,000 characters remaining. Is it on the build? Yeah, I think it gives you a number of credits you can use, like number of prompts per month. Yeah, not so sure. Yeah. Also, it has like different options right here, like build, which is building the applications exactly. That's a plan option. I think this plan option is similar to where you have if you have used Kiro before, AWS Kiro. AWS Kiro have a plan session where you will plan, like you just give it the whole plan for the application. So we can literally put all the whole plans we want for the application, right? The interface, every plan we have for the application before we start building. So you can also do that here. And you also have a chat option where you can literally just chat, like you're chatting the AI on about the app. Maybe okay, what can I do here to make it better and so forth. It's not going to make any changes. It's just a normal chat and recommend something. Yeah. What again? If you want to see your credits, I think you can do that within Zite. And yeah, let me just show you around Zite. You can also put your custom domain if you want to. But I think you have to be on a paid plan to do that. I think so. But you can put a subdomain actually. You can put a subdomain, like change the funny keyword here. Yeah, you can put a subdomain if you want to put a subdomain, but it will always end with .site. But if you're on the paid plan, you have access to set up a custom domain as well. Okay, branding and so forth. You also do some branding, title, description, five icon, and all the rest of them. Yes, amazing. And you can also what kind of question can I ask? So this is like what kind of question can you ask the AI? I guess you can ask about your app. You know, maybe you're working on something, you're asking it to do something, it's not doing it. Okay, let me tell you kind of questions that I ask AI when I'm vibe coding with agents or even with guides. I could ask what do you think? Like, think I can literally give it. I'm always very specific when prompting AI. So if I'm building something, I'm like, okay, think like a staff engineer with 10 years experience in system design and maybe front end. And like, I'm very specific. What do you think I can do about this feature? Like, I'm trying to pick the AI's brain about this feature. So think like this. Which other feature do you think can help here or here? Like that's the kind of prompt I give it. I give it a prompt, or I'm talking about the chat now. I give it a prompt, chat prompt, like I'm speaking with my fellow developer, another engineer that is maybe a senior to me, and I want to pick his brain. Like, okay, I did this way as a senior engineer with this years of experience. How do you think I can do this? You know, that's the kind of chat you can have. Like chat with it like about what you're building, like you're chatting with your colleague, like you're chatting with your code colleague, your fellow engineer. So just that kind of conversations. That's the kind of conversations you can actually have with chat agents by coding agents. You can also check your usage just to if you go to your settings right here, go to settings, you'll be able to see your usage. Should be somewhere here. Where is it? Billing and usage. Yeah, yeah. You will see your total credit for the month. So your credit actually resets on the first of each month. So I've just used 4.7 over 50 to build what we just built. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Like you actually have like 50 credits per month for free. Okay, there's a question from Sophia. Actually, so can edit the code they make to customize the UI? Can you edit the code they make to customize the UI? No, so you can't, but you can use the editor option. Like you can actually you don't have access to the code. Yeah, you don't have access to the code, but you can use the editor option to point to somewhere on the app and ask it to, and just if I prompt here, for example, or maybe this, I can do some little changes, shadow, border, spacing, background color. Yeah, just some little changes. But if I want to do something more deep, I just have to click on the AI edit and it just prompt it to make some changes between there. Yeah, it doesn't give you code. So this is not it's not an AI agent. It's not a coding agent. It is a non-code agent. Yeah. So coding agents like Cursor, Kiro, Copilot, they give you access to the code. Like they write the code. Non-coding agents don't. They write the code. They don't give you the code. The code is hosted in the platform. Yeah. Think about it like WordPress. You don't have access to WordPress code, do you? Oh, I think you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you have access to it. So think no, that example is not true. So and the example is they don't give you access to the code. So think about it like they don't give access to the code. You just prompt and they build, and everybody's happy. You can also connect databases to it. Like database, you can bring in your own database. I think it has some options like limitations to say. Like you can bring in, you can put in data from Google Sheets. You can bring in data from Zai database. Yeah, they have some coming soon options as well. But yeah, that's pretty much Zeit. But the whole idea here is when using any of the AI agents, vibe coding agents, you should always be responsibly, and you should always be transparent and honest with the people using your platform. Right? Let them know this is what is running behind the scene. Behind the scene, we are using ChatGPT 5 point this, and our infrastructure is running on AWS. Or like you have to be transparent so people know where the data is, the AI agents or the AI models that you know is behind their data as well. So it's all about being building responsibly and making the users to trust us. Okay, so if you have questions, we are here. We'll take the questions, and you can keep building, keep experimenting. I wanted to check if any of you have made some changes, like prompts it to make some changes. Okay, I think this is still the same. Still the same, still the same. Yeah, you can just prompt it to make some UI changes or that. Yeah, but I think it's still the same, like, unless you have not published yet. Yeah, so you have to publish for the changes to actually go live as well. Okay, so okay, okay. I think you have shared yours before. Have you? Okay, you can just go ahead and share. I will open that. I'll be dropping the feedback link on the comment section. So we also want to know how we have done so far. Let us know. So someone is prompting Croc to make me a king. I've not really used Croc for long. I have not. Is it free? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's not free, right? Is it free? I think it's very limited to the free trial. So drop in the comment section or drop in the feedback link on the comment section. So go ahead and let us know how you been enjoying this stream so far and what we can do better to make your experience more lively, more educative. If you have a specific stream you have attended and you loved it and there's something went wrong, something you think that can be improved, also let us know on the feedback link. Just go ahead and fill the form, let us know what we can do better. Okay, I published the changes. This is mine. I'm checking it out right now. Let me just open that changes. This is lagging. Yeah, I'll get the link. I don't have a way to copy the link from here, so I'm trying to go get to Switch and copy. Okay, here we go. Okay, so someone asked a question. Not sure. Let's see. How do you get a link to the website it makes? Sophie, can you rephrase the question? If you're asking how you get the publish link when you publish, I mean, you shared your link here before, right? So how did you get the link you shared? That's how you copy that link from here. So not sure if I get the question correctly, but if you're asking how to publish and get the link, then you can do that from here. Just copy the link. That will be your published link when you publish. You can also share if you've already published and just copy. I mean, it can also give you access like QR code. You can change the link to QR code automatically and so forth. Yeah, I don't know if that's your question, but let me know. Okay, so this is yours, right? Yeah, this is the link I just opened right now. If I'm correct, get it end with CSD. Yeah, see. I think I've opened it before. Should I share? I think this is the same with this. Okay, I can see some changes. This is the old version. It didn't have 500 characters in it. Now this one does. So this is the new. This is the latest one. I mean, if I refresh, that should give me the latest one. Guys. Yes. Okay, pretty cool. So you can. You're welcome, Sophie. So you can actually build. You can just play along with it, on your free time. You can build amazing stuff with it. Connect to database and so gives you option to login features and so forth. It doesn't charge you. You have not entered. I'm pretty sure you did not enter your card details. It does not actually ask you for card details when you are signing up. Yeah, it does not. But if you exhaust the credits, it will give you an error message when you want to prompt. It will give you an error message. So I'm answering this question on the screen. Does that warn you if you choose if you are close to being charged? Yeah, it doesn't. Again, your credit card is not here, so it's not charging you. But if you're close to, if you want to upgrade, you can literally do that. If you have exhausted your credit for the month, when you prompt, it will give you an option to upgrade and let you know that your credit has finished for the month. Okay, so question. I did more stuff in formatting the output, study to get rid of the follow-up message as well as some obvious styles. Awesome. Let me test it. Let me go ahead and test it. I just refresh and I'll just copy something and paste. Let me find a prompt. Let me find something to paste. Okay, I'm flying to London tomorrow at 10 p.m. Back home on Sunday. Has to finally be quiet. Let's see. Yeah, it takes time because you know, it sends to OpenAI. OpenAI brings it back, and here we go. Okay, yeah, yeah. It just give you a privacy risk level. Okay, is worth reviewing. Travel plans include destination and a set exact departure time tomorrow 10 p.m. Return time back on Sunday. You notice that your home will be unoccupied during that period, so you're giving too much information to someone there to go and mob your home. So remove the timing, avoid phrases like that signal and empty home. So this is cool. You can literally, tell it exactly how you want it to get back the information. Yeah, why this matters, public sharing real time. Cool. I Yeah, the five is kind of slow. I mean, is on the free version, so it's slow. It's slow. If you upgrade, I think they give you access. They give you access to the faster versions. Yeah, this one is like more faster and the speed. I don't know. Oh, let's see. So I have another version here. So let's take a look at that. Here's the changes I made. Let's see that. I have another one here. Here's mine. Just added image. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is looking pretty much cool. You added some AI stuff here, some icon. Okay, this is cool. Oh, cool. You added an option to clear the test. Cool. I mean, we are not playing with AI. Yeah, this looks cool. More user UI experience. Yeah, I mean, I can paste something. If I want to clear it, I don't have to come and highlight. I can just click on clear. Hey, this is cool. This is pretty cool. Let's see. It says failed to analyze. I don't know why it failed to analyze. Do you have the Open AI integration? I'm not sure why it's failing to analyze. Let me check this one. This one asks you to. Hmm, okay, so this one is like checking for image as well. Paste a text or upload an image you are considering sharing online. Ooh, okay, awesome, awesome. Um, I don't, I don't have an image I want to upload. Let me see if I have one that is not worth sharing. Yeah, and I don't think I want to upload an image that is not worth sharing right now. But yeah, I think I get the logic, right? Don't you can also check for image that is maybe very sensitive image, credit card or something like that you don't want to share online. Yeah, I'll say pretty cool, pretty cool. Again, don't forget to fill the feedback link, the feedback form if you have notes. Go ahead and fill that. I'll drop that again on the comment section. And let's take a look at what we have next. You can actually check that from schedule. Just to get to the question, do I have to share the link after making changes? No, if you have shared the link, no, we're just testing out. We're just testing it out. I mean, we're just trying to see changes some people have made, but you don't have to share. Okay, we just analyze the text from the image and analyze that. It can analyze the image. It can analyze the image. I have built something with Zite before, where I gave it an image, is analyze the image, bring back the information back to me. Like if I give it my ID, like passport, it automatically fills the form using the information from the image. Pretty cool. I mean, is Open AI connected to it, right? You have Open AI connected to it, so it does that magic and brings it back, which is pretty cool. So next, I think we have introduction to Gen AI web dev. So I love we are moving from building with building AI responsibly to the next. to the next stream, which is Introduction to Gen AI Web Dev Tools, which is cool. So I think you should be there so you can learn about generative AI, uh, how you can actually use dev tools, use the most useful AI powered tools for web developers, and we can generally save them without replacing good engineering judgments. Yeah, so cool. I love that topic. It's going to build more on some of the things you have learned from here. So I think you should check it out. And okay, dropping the feedback link again. Please go ahead and fill that if you have not. And we just have 2 minutes to go. If you have any questions, you can keep asking. So let's see. We can create an image with AI. Yes, you can. You can literally ask it to put. I don't know. Yeah, you can put an. Again, the model behind it can create an image. Can it? I think it can. You can give it a try. Hmm, okay. You can add an image. Can you add an image input? Yes, I think you can add an image input. So I think this person already had added that. So it's just a file. Image is a file, right? So you can actually add a file. It's a file. Or you can actually ask it to just check for PNG, this, that, and that. It will be slow. True for yeah, it will be slow though for image analysis. Usually we try to be different one. Performance is something we don't have much control of. Except paying up for a premium plan. Yes, that is true. Yeah. Okay, so I will allow you experiment on your own, take a break, and join the next stream to learn more about Gen AI and how you can use it in the dev tools to build the applications as well. So let's move from non-code to coding. Yeah, I think that will involve some coding. And thank you, and see you on the next stream. If you still have questions, happy to answer. If you don't, okay, we'll call it a day. You're welcome. Thank you. Cool. Okay, thank you. So it is 10 dots. I'll go ahead and end the stream now. Bye. Yeah, looking forward to the next stream too.